sort of awake. We left about 5:30. We're already in Camel River. We actually had to sit outside the dollar store to wait for it to open because we needed Scrubbies dish soap. All right, so here we are, just rolling into Telegraph Cove. Looks pretty cool. So we're gonna go for a walk here down the boardwalk. It looks absolutely beautiful. Beautiful sunny day, super quaint, cozy, small little community. Super well known for whale watching and bear tours. So that dog right there, her name is Sally. She's actually the mayor of Telegraph Cove. So we just paid for our ticket here for the ferry. We're gonna head over to Sontula Island. I was super excited. I wanted to go here all my life. Our ticket blew out the window, but luckily I was able to salvage it before it ended up in the ocean. You can see all the massive kelp heads here right off the port side of the ferry. All right, well, so far this trip has gotten off to a banger start. I mean, we came over here to the island. We phoned a really nice campground here, and it just so happened that someone had canceled one of the nicest sites in the campground. We got off the ferry, we raced here. We got to the lady, we booked the site. We had the best site in the entire campground here at Bear Point Provincial Park. It's just absolutely beautiful. We got super lucky today. Found us some treasure. So we're actually gonna go down into town and explore the Finnish bakery. Apparently they have some really awesome Finnish bread, and explore the town, but it's been a really long day. We've been up since 5 in the morning, right about 1:30 here. I'm tired of driving. Put in over 400 kilometers today. So here at the very end of the campsite, which we're at, the best site there is, there's actually the trailhead to, it's called the Beautiful Bay Trail. Apparently there is a giant Sitka spruce, a lost canyon, and also a place where the killer whales rub their bellies on the rocks. The forest here has this kind of super grown in vibe. Behind me here, we have a giant fallen cedar. A whole bunch of other trees growing out of it. Most of them are firred, it looks like. It's what they call a nurse tree. This is a very, very good example. May not look like a big tree to you guys, but it is a Sitka spruce. See, the sign says it even. It was nice until the trail basically disappeared. All the boardwalks were dilapidated. We ended up climbing down a steep ravine. We found a nice beach though. So we just arrived here at the Suquash. From what I know, it was an old coal mining type area. There's a remnants of an old house with a super impressive fireplace. And you can actually find coal on the beach. Got a kind of creepy feel in here. Something odd, I don't know. So we got down here, the trail led us right to the beach. I know we're in the right place. I found some machinery. We're just trying to locate the actual building. I'm not a geologist, but I do believe I have found my first piece of coal on the beach. Oh yeah, it's definitely coal. So if you ever come visit here, make sure to keep an eye on the right for a small trail going up the hill. We actually missed it, went down to the beach. Spent time mucking around, trying to find it. Definitely on the right track now. See something here in the distance. Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, this place definitely has a bit of an eerie feel. I found it. Oh wow, it's magnificent. Unbelievable. Oh wow. She's been sitting for a while, but we're gonna try to fire this monster up. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the Suquash Mine. I hope I'm saying that right once again. Oh wow, we're all smiles. There's some really cool stuff here. I'll bet you if a guy explored, he could probably spend a whole day finding things here. We are very close to the Cape Scott Trailhead where we're gonna camp tonight. We're gonna go check out an old cemetery in the middle of nowhere in the forest. All right, so yeah, there's this car here, pretty close to the cemetery. I'm not an old vehicle guy, but I kind of thought it looked like a hearse or whatever it's called. If anyone knows, please leave in the comments. I would love to learn more about this. We've walked about 1.5 kilometers into the thick forest. I can finally see the graveyard. Let's make sure to not get too close. No disrespect to the dead. Just for the record, we didn't step on any graves. We didn't do anything bad here. No disrespect to these people. Rest their souls. We just wanted to show you what's happened here in an ancient forest in the middle of nowhere. If anyone knows any history about the cemetery behind me, I'd love to learn more. There's a story here. I love the history. So looking at the cemetery, it's in a pretty bad state of disrepair. If we look at it where the posts used to be, you can clearly see that there would have been 4 graves in a straight line. Grave number 1, which we believe is the oldest. Grave number 2 here. Grave number 3 there. And on the left is a post that's down on the ground, which would have been grave number 4.
After exploring the graveyard, the oldest date we were able to find was 1932, but there were graves here that were much, much older.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, subscribers, old and young alike, welcome back to the channel. Today's adventure starts with the first leg of the Cape Scott Trail. Got a little bit of rain in the forecast for today, but the next 2 days look good. We're here for 3 days, 2 nights. One thing to note, up here on the northern coast, the weather can change in a click of a finger. So this trail not only has beautiful beaches, it actually has a lot of historical significance. There was actually a Dutch settlement colony here in about 1850, 1860, somewhere in that ballpark. We're gonna see if we can find any remnants of the old village. There's a sign here that says, "You are in wolf country," and it says, "If a wolf approaches you, don't run, act big and make noise." And it's got a picture of a guy and it says, "If attacked, fight back." He's got a spear. Behind us there's a section where there's some pretty janky bridges. I mean, I don't know if you can see them in the background here, but they're pretty janky, slippery, sketchy, wet, and muddy. So we just arrived at Eric Lake, which is the first campground. In another mucky section here, this trail's a mix of slippery boardwalk, horrible swamp, and brief parts of respite when you can actually make some distance in a short amount of time. Getting pretty close to the what they call the Fisherman's Creek now. We just ran into some hikers and they said that once we hit 10K, the trail becomes significantly easier. So we're really stoked for that because this has been a grind. Way better now. It's like straight and flat as far as I can see from here. This is much easier hiking, much better time. So the sign basically says, talks about the 2 attempts by the Dutch or the Danes to settle this farmland. It talks about how proceeding from here we will see more open farmland and remnants of their past, their tools, their buildings, their exploits. So we're going to keep our eye open from here on in. I feel like I've taken a step into like Africa or like the Serengeti. As far as signs of the Dutch colony, I haven't seen nothing, but I'm pretty tired. Not probably looking as best I could, but something happened here. So back in 1899, the settlers here, the Dutch, started a really ambitious project. What they wanted to do is create more agricultural land. So they actually created this massive dike here. You can see the remnants way in the back behind me. So quite ironically, almost to the day that they finished the project, they had a really severe storm that brought up the water levels enough to actually completely destroy the dike that they just created. Finally see the ocean here on the left. I could definitely smell it before I saw it. Finally, after a long, hard day of hiking, just over 17 kilometers, we're finally here. First thing I see is a gazillion birds on the beach and a really nice outhouse. This is not an easy trail. Almost feel a little emotional. Anything worth doing is not easy, so keep that in mind, folks. It applies to pretty much everything in life. There's a whole bunch of huts and structures people have built. Let's go have a look at this one here. We're gonna walk all the way down the beach and like pick out this fancy campground, but we're just totally zonked. So we've moved about 50 feet from the trailhead and it's gonna set her up right here. I'm taking my shoes off. So we're just going to collect some water from the creek here. Apparently it's at the end of the beach. The only water source is this pretty dank looking swampy. I mean, it looks pretty bad, but thankfully we have the Sawyer squeeze and I know that it still looks like piss, but it's drinkable piss. Brought one of my favorite ready meals. It's actually made by a company called ReadyWise. The chili mac and cheese, it's awesome. It's one of the best ones I've ever had. We're pretty sore this morning. Yesterday was pretty rough. We actually ran into these hikers and we were chit-chatting with them and they said they actually just did the West Coast Trail and they found that this was actually harder, at least certain sections of it. So we're up pretty early here. We're gonna head for the Lighthouse. We're gonna go check it out. Just reaching the trailhead to the Lighthouse here. It's about a 12.5 kilometer round trip. We're actually going to take our time today and explore some beaches, look for shipwrecks, that sort of thing. This to me is much nicer than where we were camping. I mean, there's no people here. It's way more exposed to the rugged elements of the North Coast. So way in the distance there, that point, I kind of feel like the lighthouse is around the other side. So we definitely have a bit of a journey today. Coming here to Cape Scott has been a lifelong dream of mine. It's something I wanted to do for a very long time. It's that feeling when you're close to fulfilling a dream. Once again, I'm a little emotional. Super happy to be here for the opportunity to make you guys these types of videos. Just remember, if you like this type of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It really helps me more than you'll ever know. So if you like the videos, click the like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. So you can see from what I just showed you, the signs of the old road. So after what feels like at least a couple kilometers, it's a trail down to the beach, and there's what looks to be actually a road here. So I'm going to follow the road. I'm pretty sure it's going to lead me to the lighthouse. I've walked to the ends of the earth, the ends of Vancouver Island, to see this lighthouse. I hope it does not disappoint. You can see the first signs of the lighthouse here. So here I am at the northernmost part of Vancouver Island, 25 or 26 kilometers all said and done of rugged, horrible swamp to get here to this spot where I'm standing right now. If you guys like this type of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, leave a comment. It really helps move the channel forward. I was going to try to get an interview with the lighthouse keeper, but there's a ton of people here, and I'm sure people asking questions all day long. I'm sure he would have, but I need to get back to camp. I need to get some food. I need to get some water.